What is going on, everybody? Welcome to a new segment called Ranting Hour with Kyle. This is basically a whole hour where I spew complete and utter rants, non-filtered rants about the subject that you guys voted for. Tonight, you had a choice between the XFL, Philly fans, and human beings. Now, I thought the human beings one was very interesting. But I knew that wasn't going to get voted in because people don't like. I don't know what it is. It's too political or whatnot. But Philly fans, I knew that was an interesting one to pick because people want my clear thoughts and opinions about what I feel about my own fan bases. And yeah, well, here we go. So strap in, buckle in, popcorn ready. My channel has been made off of rants throughout the years. I've been on YouTube for about 9 years, and yeah, it's rant time, baby. I'm gonna do this about 2 times a week. The one you voted for was Philly fans, and yeah, let's get started. And anyone in the comment section that wants to ask me a question about the topic at hand, Philly fans, I'll answer it. All right, Philly fans are the most sensitive fan base on the fence in the world. They're the most sensitive fan base in the world. And what do I mean by that? You know that song, No One Likes Us, We Don't Care, We're from Philly, we're from Philly, no one likes us, we don't give a fuck, whatever. That song is all bullshit, all right? It's bullshit. Philly fans are the most sensitive fan base in the world. If you say one thing bad about them, they care too much, they come in droves, and they try to take you down, even if what you're saying is true about them. Philly fans have a crush on Carson Wentz. They have a crush on Joel Embiid. They have a crush on Ben Simmons. Fuck, they even have a crush on Bryce Harper. Philly knows, and Philly fans know, that they have 2 titles in the last 500 years, all right? You could actually combine New York's titles without the Yankees and Philly, and it's a complete dumpster fire. New York and Philly sports teams other than the New York Yankees, they're not very successful. You could say the New York Giants. I just think they're a fluke team. It doesn't really matter to me. It's one football team. Who gives a shit? But Philly fans, they have a reputation of being huge, gigantic assholes. And it's true. We're huge, gigantic assholes, and we don't care what people think about us until people say a fact about us, and then we get sensitive to the point where we get in our feelings and we say too much. Now, when it comes to Carson Wentz and Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons, the other night, I was on Twitter, and it was the All-Star game. It was the All-Star game, and Ben Simmons was a backup on the reserves. Someone on Twitter was like, I'm voting for Ben Simmons for All-Star Game MVP, even after Kawhi Leonard hit 6 straight three-point attempts. He said, Ben Simmons is the All-Star Game MVP. You can't be an All-Star Game MVP as a backup when a guy hit 3 consecutive jump shots from three-point range. You can't. You literally can't. And I just think it's funny. You know, I don't really like dissing my own fans, but Philly fans have that reputation of just not knowing what they're talking about. And the fact of the matter is they don't. They really don't. They are literally the dumbest fans in the world. And don't take this personally. Don't take this to heart. I'm just roasting my own fan base. I'm roasting my own fan base. This fan base doesn't win at all. So whenever a big moment in sports comes up, whenever it appears, whether it's Andy Reid winning the Super Bowl, that stupid fat fuck that did literally nothing here, whenever Andy Reid wins a Super Bowl, we have to take our chance to say, hey, Philly loves you. Philly loves you. We loved you. We always loved you, even though we ran him out of town in 2012. I guess we'll go with that. But Philly loves you, Andy. Congratulations, Philly. Congratulations, Andy Reid. Even though he might win 4 more titles now that he gets that first one with Patrick Mahomes, because Patrick Mahomes, let's face it, is probably the best quarterback in the fucking league right now. So they'll regret that really quickly. But it's the truth. It's 100% the truth. Philly fans are literally the stupidest fans in the world, the dumbest fans in the world. And it's crazy. It's absolutely nuts. It is absolutely nuts. And it is what it is. You guys voted on this. You got us. I ran it for about 5 minutes. I could do a lot more than that. I just want to see what you guys say in the comments section. I want to see in the comment section what you guys are saying. 12th Eagles, like, I'm thinking of moving to New Jersey from California. I heard the East Coast is Loserville with a bunch of nobodies, but I'm just wondering on your opinion. No, actually, Jersey, believe it or not, it always gets bashed on. Jersey is actually a really good state to live in because you're right near the shore. You're within striking distance from Philadelphia and New York City, so you could have a fun time at those places no matter what. And I actually think New Jersey is a fun place to live in. Now, taxes are up the ass. You're going to be paying taxes throughout, no matter what you do in the state of New Jersey. That's just something you got to get used to. It is what it is. It's ton of taxes, but you have the shore right there. You have everything. You have the bars. You get the fist pumped like a fucking Guido. And you know what? It is what it is. New Jersey's fun. I actually like living in New Jersey. I think it's a great state. But other than I would never live in Philadelphia, and this is another thing about Philadelphia. Philadelphia, everyone prides themselves from being from Philadelphia, but they don't live there. You know, they say they're from the city, so they're born into being a Philadelphia Eagles, Sixers, Flyers, Phillies fan, but they don't live there. You wouldn't know why that is? Because Philly's a dump. Philly's 100% a dump. If you've ever been to Center City in the middle of the night, you'd be fucking running for your life. You know, you'd see a crackhead, you'd see a homeless person begging for change. The cops literally do nothing. If you're out there at 3:30 in the morning, the homeless migrate into the city to attack the wealth. The city's a dump. The city is an absolute travesty. It's a dump. Philly cheesesteaks are the biggest debate in the city. That's how big of a dump it is. You know, whenever someone says, what's the best cheesesteak? Oh, people say Jim's, even though I think it's really overrated. Jim's is the most overrated cheesesteak in the city. Steve's, John's Roast Pork. You hear Max's. I personally like Oregon Steaks and D'Alessandro's. Those are my favorite. But who cares? It's a slab of meat on a bread. It's a slab of meat on fucking bread. Who gives a shit? Like, who cares? It's Philadelphia, and that's the only thing you could debate. Literally, cheesesteaks. Philadelphia, all the rich celebrities don't live in Philadelphia. There's a reason for that. There is nothing going right for the city of Philadelphia. They get away from it as fast as they can, and then when a big sports moment comes up, which is rare, they come back to celebrate. That's what they do. And it is what it is. What else do we got here? Why the fans boo Embiid? Because our fans are assholes. Our fans don't realize how good we have it with Joel Embiid, so they would like to boo Embiid. Say, boo, leave us, boo. Even though it's Ben Simmons' problem, they boo the wrong guy. They say, boo, boo, Embiid. Although Embiid was by far the best player in that fourth quarter in the NBA All-Star game, which was all defense, I might mind you, and it really exposed a lot of talent. But Embiid looked the best out of all of them. So our fans want the wrong guy gone. It just makes no sense to me, but that's just Philly fans in a nutshell. They're very stupid. Fire Brett Brown. That's another one. You do not fire the prodigy to Greg Popovich, no matter what. If they choose to fire him, they're idiots, but they're probably going to because they're going to listen to the moronic fans. You do not fire a prodigy that comes from Greg Popovich. You just don't do it. You don't do it. It'll kill us. It'll fuck us in the ass, and then we'll be in the process for even more years. You stick with this coach as long as you can because guess what? Other than the road woes, we look like a damn good team, actually. So just give it some time. Give it some time to gel. The homeless are all over the train station in Philly. It is a travesty. It is so bad. It is so bad how the homeless people are not taken care of in the city, and they come and attack the people that are just trying to have a good time in the center city of Philadelphia. It's just so bad. Coconut says, I live in Philly and I haven't seen much of the things you saw. Well, this is what you need to do. On a Friday or Saturday night, Coconuts, you need to go to Center City, Philadelphia. You need to go to a club. You need to go get drunk. And you need to walk down a little bit and hopefully not get attacked by a homeless person because that's exactly what will happen to you. Because my friend was making a phone call, got slapped by a crazy crackhead bitch, and basically said that she was filming him. We went up to the cop because, you know, we don't hit women because we're respectable. Went up to a cop. And he's like, oh, this crackhead lady just hit me. He's like, oh, I'll go check it out. Didn't check it out because the cop knows what's up. The crackheads migrate to the city of Philadelphia, center city of Philadelphia when it's late because they ask people for change, and that's all they can go because that's just what crackheads do. Unfortunately, there's crackheads out there. That's why I don't do drugs. It's very sad, but that's just what they do. Is there a good side in Philly? A good side in Philly is probably the sports complex, if I'm being completely honest with you. Now, I personally go down to Center City, Philadelphia. I do because that's where my neighborhood is. You know, that's where I like to go out and have fun because that's where I go party. But I'm being completely honest with you. If you're expecting to get out there scot-free when you're waiting for a lift, be careful because it's going to be late, and that's where everyone migrates to, and it's not good. So you got to be careful. You got to be careful. Not all, just some just act like every fan base, though. And that's another thing I want to talk about because a lot of people like to advertise their players as the best as they possibly can be. Like Wentz, everyone says that he's elite. There was a poll on Twitter today that says, is Wentz elite? Elite to me is such a big word. Elite means you're a top 5 quarterback consistently. You have top 5 stats. You get your team in the best position to win every single year. And these guys, 87% said he's elite. 87%. Now, am I going to say he's elite? Fuck no. The jury's still out on him because he had one great year, if we're being completely honest with you. 2017 is 3 years away from today. It's 3 years away. All right. So you cannot say the guy's elite when he hasn't proven it the last 2 seasons. Now, you can't take 4 games as a small sample size because those teams were shitty, number one. And the one team that we did beat that was very good, the Dallas Cowboys, they came to Philly and they didn't want to play for their coach anymore. So you have to take that with a grain of salt. These players, every single time I'm on Twitter, I go on NFL or some Fox Sports 1 newscast, and they say, who would you rank as a top 5 quarterback? And when I go down the list, I see this one very rare GIF of Carson Wentz. All right? And then I go to look at the Avi. I'm like, that's interesting. They label him a top 5 quarterback. Let me go to the Avi. Eagles fan. Then I go to another one. It says Carson Wentz. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting. And then I look at the Avi. Eagles fan. And then I look at the reply under it, and I'm like, oh, no shit, you're an Eagles fan. See, this is why I feel bad when people say this, because they want to hold out hope for the guy, but they're really biased and they're delusional because they want the guy to succeed so much that they're calling him elite. He's not elite. He's not elite at all. Let me see what else we got here. Elite is Mahomes, Drew Brees, etc. Yes, they earn their stripes and they have a Super Bowl championship. Wentz does not. I hate to break it to you, but Wentz, I'll give you a little bit of what is it? All right, Wentz is that one guy in a group project that doesn't do anything and he still gets an A. That's what Wentz is. And, I hate to say that because Wentz did have a great regular season, but you know who else had a great regular season? Donovan McNabb, over and over and over and over and over again. And Donovan McNabb got there and didn't do anything when he got into the playoffs. People are saying that this guy would have went to the Super Bowl and won. I don't know. He was in his sophomore year. He didn't have experience. The jury's still out on it. But I'm going to go with no. Because I feel like that one game he would have lost us, and people would have said, he had a great sophomore season. We didn't expect to get this far with him, and that would have been that. Because Philly fans, they like to celebrate the fact that we didn't win. They like to celebrate achievements of players that don't get it done. And that's exactly what I thought would have happened if Wentz were to lose a playoff game. So it just sucks the situation that we won. We won with Nick Foles, and people don't want to celebrate it because they wanted to see the guy under center the whole season get it done, and they didn't. It is what it is. Take it for what it's worth. But Philly fans, they just they're not very bright. Tommy Lee says Wentz is very mobile. Not anymore. Wentz used to be very mobile before he made that run to the end zone and lunged into 2 linebackers. He was very mobile before that. Now that his knee isn't exactly where it was before that injury, because it's not, it never will be, in my opinion, he's not the same player. You could see that he doesn't move as quickly, and he's going to have to turn into more of a mobile passer, which he's not really. So, it is what it is. But at the same time, these fans like to suck his dick. So it is what it is. Let me see what else is here. More cringe. Wentz stands or Astros cheating? Wentz stands by far. Cheating, cheating and denying it, that's bad. But at the same time, I've never seen as bad as I have with the Wentz stands. I haven't. They're not fans. They're Wentz stands, and that's why they're called stands, because they don't care about the Eagles. They just care about a quarterback. Isn't Camden one of the worst cities in America? It's probably the worst. Maybe Oakland. I don't know. You really don't know the city. Yeah, I only go twice a week. I don't know the city at all. Loopy says, I've been to Philly 3 times, and the homeless is a big problem. They need to get them shelter. They're a danger to everyone and themselves. It's the truth. It's the truth. I blame a lot of it on sports radio. Yes, WIP and 97.5 The Fanatic are the absolute worst. Do not listen to those stations no matter what. They feed you garbage. They feed you bait. They don't give you the straight up facts. They don't give you the straight up news. And that's why people don't listen to them anymore. The callers are stupid. They want to fire everyone. They want to get rid of everyone. They're stupid. That's why I don't listen to it anymore. You know who was the last radio host that I actually liked on WIP and in Philly in general? It was Josh Innes, because he made it fun. He was realistic. He told you how it was. And guess what? People hated him because he told you how it was. That's why they hated him. They don't want to hear what you want to. They don't want to hear the real news. They want to hear a fantasy land. And this is why we've won 2 titles, a total of 2 titles in the last, 30 years. That's why we don't win that much, because the fans are so sensitive. They run everyone out of town. And they just don't see it because they're that dumb. All right, what else do we see? You are the most clueless Philly sports channel. Your Ben Simmons and Wentz hate is disgusting. Listen, I'm going to tell you right here, right now, Riley, you don't know me. You have never known me. Whenever I say something about a Philly sports player, I am dead on accurate with it. Ben Simmons, basketball player, doesn't shoot the ball. Wentz, he looks scared to me. And guess what? That's another thing. That's another thing about Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz, he got taken out of the game. Sadly, it sucked. I understand it. Shouldn't have slid head first. He needs to stop doing that, or else he's going to have a very short career. Another thing, everyone wants to hit on Jadeveon Clowney. Your goal as the opposing NFL player is to take out the best players on the opposing team. That's what Jadeveon Clowney did. And guess what? He did it perfectly. He timed that masterpiece of a hit perfectly, and it sucks that I'm saying masterpiece because it was. It took our quarterback out of the game, and it ruined the game for us because the guy couldn't come back because of the concussion protocol. Jadeveon Clowney is the type of player you want on your team because he does exactly what he's paid to do, and that's injure the other player with a perfect precision hit that they could not suspend him for because it was perfectly timed. Wentz slid head first. As a quarterback in the NFL, you saw it over time, over and over and over time. Eli Manning slid with his head first, lost the ball. He continued to lose the ball, fumble the ball. You do not slide head first as an NFL quarterback. You do not do it. And Jadeveon Clowney took advantage of it, and he capitalized. And he did not get thrown out of the game because it was perfectly timed. They couldn't tell if it was illegal or not. And let's guess, it was a dirty hit. It was a dirty hit. His intentions were to lay a smackdown on Wentz. It happened, but to his advantage, it worked out perfectly because it was perfectly timed. And that's all you're going to get from me from that because it's the truth. Nitro, was Lamar Jackson a fluke this year? No, Lamar he's good. I don't think he's a good quarterback, but Lamar Jackson, I think Lamar Jackson is a very good athlete. He's dynamic. I just don't think he's good at throwing the ball. But I do like Lamar Jackson. I miss Innes too. Let me see. Definitely going to agree about Innes. Yes, Josh, and people are agreeing with me on Innes. Innes was my favorite radio host in the city of Philadelphia. I would actually listen to the radio at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, listening to Josh Innes because he told it how it was, and people hated it. Like when we were going into the season with Sam Bradford, when we just drafted Carson Wentz and we were rolling with Bradford as a starter, he was like, get ready for the champagne wishes and caviar dreams of 8-8. And it was an 8-8 season. It was worse, actually. It was a 7-9 season. And granted, Sam Bradford won that Patriots game for us, but Sam Bradford, this is the season before, but we're talking about the season following, and it was a 7-9 season. Sam Bradford won that Pats game for us the season before, but the season following, we traded him away to the Vikings for a first-round pick. Got Carson Wentz, all right, which was a great pickup at the time because the guy was a stud in his first couple of years. I'm not even going to deny that. Complete stud in his first couple of years, but we finished 7-9. He called it how it was, and with Sam Bradford, it wouldn't have been different. We would have finished 7-9 and 8-8. And he told you how it was, and unfortunately, nobody likes him because he's hard to work with because he always wants to be right. But the problem with Josh Innes is he is always right. Like if you listen to his takes, look at it like 2 to 3 months down the road, you'll realize that he's right almost like 90% of the time. And that's why people don't like him. They don't like to hear the facts. And that's what I try to say 100% of the time. I try to give you how it is 100% of the time. Reality, I don't live in fantasy island. I just tell you how it is, and it pisses people off. And when I say Wentz is a shell of himself and he's never going to be good, he's never going to win us a title, I truly believe that. I truly believe that. I don't think it has anything to do with the talent around him. I truly believe that the guy's a pussy, and it is what it is. But Philly fans won't agree with me because they think the guy is better than sliced bread. Sorry about it. QBs that are scared don't slide head first. What? It's situational football. You're trying to get to the first down. You're going to try to get there any way you want. It doesn't have anything to do with scared or not. I don't know what to tell you. He's just a bitch. That's all there is to it. I'm trying to go up a little bit. LA has 10 times more homeless people. California as a whole is the biggest state in the whole fucking U.S. other than Alaska. So come on, take a chill pill there. Angelo is an idiot. I'm not really an Angelo person. PR said something. I'm gonna view this deleted message by 12th Eagle. Will you be ranting about yourself too? Hey, if it's picked in a pool PR, I will be ranting about myself. But right now, there is nothing to be ranting about myself for. I can rant about you because you are dead wrong all the time, but I will not be doing that because that's not what the subject is about. It's about stupid Philadelphia Eagles fans. You are a Philly fan, but at the same time, you live in California. You don't really have any Philly roots, which I kind of contradicted myself what I said earlier about moving away from the city, but you were never in the city. So I can't really portray you in this category. You're just a California fan. Sorry, buddy. If you had to choose to listen to one of these for the rest of your life, what would you choose? Wentz stands A2D radio or 4th and John? Oh, my God. See, I can't really bash A2D because me and Tom might be doing a show somewhere down the road. I think that if I'm really ranting, I don't think anyone at A2D is any good. But I think Tom is very good. Tom is very good. I hope I do a show with Tom, whether it's with him or on my channel. I hope I do a show with Tom because that guy has potential. Unfortunately, he signed a bunch of hacks, and they don't know what they're doing. They don't like to work with each other, and it just sucks. It sucks because it does have potential, but when you sign a bunch of people that can't get it done, I have nothing else to say to you. It's the truth, and I only lay the truth out there. Tom's very good at what he does. He's great at being a professional on the air, off the air. He's great at it. A little bit sensitive at times, but that's okay. Everyone is. I can't really bash A2D radio, like the product, though, because that's his thing, and I might do a show with him down the road. That's in talks. That is in talks. Me and him might have a show, but that was a long time coming because we both are very good at what we do. And I feel like that show would be a very dynamic show, but it's in works. So we'll see what happens. What is my answer? If I'm listening to Tom, I'll say A2D. Do you think Bills will be a problem? And they could be down the road. Wentz is talented, not elite. He hasn't earned it. I think he could be, but needs to prove it. Yeah, he's very talented. He's a very skilled athlete. The problem is I think he's in his own head a little bit, and I think that's what's killing him inside. But Wentz is a very talented player, 100% talented player. Whoa. I'm going to answer, what do you think Philly needs to do offseason? Because right now it seems like we may be a first-round exit. They need to make some upgrades. They need to draft a wide receiver. They need to draft a cornerback. They need to go get a cornerback. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit gassy. They need to do whatever they can do to bolster this team because if we go into the season with Deshaun Jackson and Alshon Jeffrey again, I just don't think we're going to be any good. But that's just my opinion. I agree, Eagle Speed, I think. You should rant about you picking the Jets to win the Super Bowl. Hey, listen, that's a flaw. I'll admit it. I thought that them getting Le'Veon Bell and having Sam Darnold going into his sophomore year, which it was a dark horse pick, all right? Sam Darnold ended up getting mono. They started Luke Falk, and it was just downhill from there. What do you want me to say? You know, it was a bad pick. I also picked the Eagles on the other side, me being the Wentz hater that I am, picking the Eagles on the other side, and they completely flopped. So what do you want me to do? I went with an upset pick, and it didn't work out. It didn't work out. Would you want to trade Jeffrey to the Bills, who is a main free agent? What would you want? The main free agent who I want. Oh, fuck, man. You're putting me in a spot. Let me think about that one. I would trade Alshon Jeffrey for Micah Hyde straight up, underrated safety. Listen, I would do whatever because Alshon Jeffrey's about to turn 30. So did I watch All or Nothing? Absolutely not. Don't have time for that. And maybe I'll catch it on like Hulu or something like that. Maybe it's still on Hulu. I just don't know why. Why do I hate Wentz so much? Simple answer, DJ Forbin. That's a good question. It's because of the fans. We're talking about the fans here. The fans try to – hold on. I got to take a sip of water. the fans try to hype up the guy and put so much pressure on the guy every single year that it makes him go insane. Did you see the acne this guy had during the Bears game in the playoffs? The guy's $100 million quarterback, and he had acne. You know how bad of a look that is to be a Philadelphia Eagles player and have acne the way he did? Like, it's bad. And the fans do this to him. They put pressure on him. They want him to succeed so much that he just tries to press every single game. And it's just so bad. It's so bad. And that's why I don't hate anybody, but that's why I don't like Wentz, because I think when Wentz presses, he's not the same player that he could be, and that's what he does consistently because he said that Foles finished the job that he started, and it's the truth. The fans make me dislike the guy. Jamie Boswell says, "Is it fair to say Wentz isn't mobile, but when Wentz runs out of the pocket, he's more accurate and effective?" Yeah, that's called rolling out and throwing on the run. There's a difference between mobility and throwing on the run. All right, you know who threw on the run very well? Drew Brees. And Drew Brees isn't that quick. Drew Brees is not that quick, and he throws on the run very well. Nick Foles threw on the run very well. Outside of the pocket, he would escape a little bit and throw a little check down. He threw very well outside the pocket. All right? You don't have to be fast to throw on the run. All right? But his problem is when he wants to run for the first down, it's like he's running in quicksand. You know, you got to fix that. Unfortunately, you can't because there's something in his head. Can't do it. Wentz definitely regressed. As much as I like him, he needs to improve and get better receivers. I agree. Yeah, listen, I agree. Jaguars could cut Foles. I agree with that, and I would love to see him back in Midnight Green, but I knew that would never happen. Oh, it's on Prime? All right, I'll check it out. Darnold gets murdered. Jets protection is scary. Yeah, all the time. What do you think about Press Taylor's promotion? He's a nobody. Who else should we see? Nick Foles only fits the Eagles system. Yes, I agree with that. By the way, guys, we're almost at the half-minute mark. Holy fuck, this is going quick. Hit that thumbs up button if you're enjoying the stream. Smash the subscribe button. Hit that notification button at the top. I'll be doing rants 2 times a week. This is the first one for the Philly fans. I had to do it. It's a little bit of friendly fire, but it's something I had to do. So hit that thumbs up button. Let's try to get to 15 likes. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the stream. Friendly fire, first ever ranting session, and it's friendly fire. Absolutely love it. Tim Jenkins asks me a very odd question that I will not answer. Absolutely will not answer. Way more mobile than Foles, man. Yeah, he is more mobile than Foles, but when he throws, it's I don't know. It's I don't know. He just doesn't look the same. Like, remember when he threw that dime to Darren Sproles in the 2016 season against the Steelers? He doesn't look anywhere near that. You know, he did it twice in the first 2 weeks of that season. Did it against the Bears. He threw it to Nelson Aguilar, and he threw it to Sproles in stride. You don't see that anymore. You just don't see it, and it's kind of sad. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of sad. I thought this was about Philly fans. Yeah, but listen, Tim, you have to understand something. All right. Some of those guys there, I don't like. You know, this is about Phillies fans, but I'm not gonna like point someone out and tell you my real thoughts and opinions about someone, because I don't do that. I'm talking about Philly fans in general. You know, so that's the reason why I'm not gonna answer that. You didn't have to delete the message, 12th Eagle, but I understand where he was coming from. But I just don't. I don't attack anyone personally. I just don't do that. Thoughts on Baker Mayfield? I think he sucks. I honestly can see the Lions getting Trevor Lawrence. I think Tua is going to Miami. What's your opinion on the XFL? I love it. I hate the XFL. The reason why I hate the XFL is because they have no quarterbacks. I was watching Landry Jones the other day, and watching the guy run, I think he runs like a 6-second 40-yard dash. It's either that or his leg is that fucked up. The quarterbacks in the XFL couldn't be any worse. And that's the problem with the product. All or Nothing gave me more respect for Carson. I'll watch it sometime. I don't really know. That third of miles against Washington was unreal. Yeah, but it was against Washington. Like, we gotta give some stiff competition. You're a pussy if you hate XFL. I don't really like it. I think it's a very watered down product. The one thing I do like though is I like the point system to make a conversion. The 1 point you have to earn. Where you have to kick it for the extra point, I think that's pussy shit. I like where you have to earn it, like 1 point, 2 point, 3 point. I like that. But to me, it just diminishes the game of football. I like waiting a long time. I like watching college basketball. I like watching baseball, and I like watching all the in-between sports. And the thing about watching the XFL is it just diminishes the game for me because it's literally right after the Super Bowl. I like that little break in between because my mind is just racing when it comes to football. Like I just need a little bit of break. So that's just my thoughts on it. I don't hate it. It's just not for me. I do like the rules in the XFL though. The kickoff, because the kickoff you could literally break a play and you're gone. But whatever. I don't know who he's talking to. 12 Eagle, if you're talking to me, that's fine. I don't really care. You have a freedom of speech. Eagles01 says, "What's up, guys? What's up, Eagles01? How you doing, buddy?" XFL have been super mid. I love football, but I barely watch it. Yeah, I've watched it. I mean, I watched a little bit of it to keep up to date, but at the same time, I don't know. I don't really feel it. Should the Raiders move on from Derek Carr? Yes, I believe they should. I think they should sign Tom Brady, to be honest with you. How do you feel about the Sixers' playoff chances as far as seeding? They have to get home court. They need to get into the top 3 range. They have to. How do you feel about the Sixers? I just said that. XFL is fucking trash. I think it's close to trash. I don't think it's complete trash, but I think it's trash. PJ Walker been playing great. But 30 minutes into the Philly fans trash talk hour. I think I pretty much made all my points when it comes to rants. I definitely had to make a rant after today because, it was a long fucking day. Very long day. Kyle, you're an awesome dude. Next time I come to Philly, we gotta chill. Yeah, just hit me up on here. Yeah, it's awesome. Let's do it. Do you think the Raiders should get Cam Newton? I think it would be a good pickup. Do you think Brady is still going to the Chargers? Possibly can. Take me to my first Flyers game. Yeah, I love Flyers games. What up, man? What's up, 44th? How you doing, buddy? We're talking about Philly fans tonight. Anything you want to add, 44th, the legendary, about Philly fans? Because honestly, this is your show. If you want to say anything bad, positive about Philly fans, go ahead. This is your show. I'm just ranting about it. I'm being honest. Hard to root for an XFL team when you have 0 ties of any of the 8 teams. That's my problem. Yeah, literally 0 ties. I can't wait to see the Patriots suck. It's going to happen. Should the Falcons blow up the roster and rebuild? Yes. Not your thoughts on the MLB cheating? I think it sucks. It is what it is, but Manfred's the worst commissioner in sports history, and nothing's going to change. I think Brady is staying in New England. I don't. Thoughts on the Sixers versus Bucks this Saturday? Is it on the road? If it's on the road, I think we get killed. I think the Saints take a step back next year. The funny thing about the Saints is they're talking to what's his name, Taysom Hill, about being the quarterback. That would be the worst decision of all time. If you look up Taysom Hill at BYU and look at how this guy threw the ball, do you really think he's going to be a good quarterback in the NFL? He missed wide open targets at BYU. Like, he was bad. I think the Saints take a step back. You already read that. Fuck the Astros. Yeah, fuck the Astros. Fuck them. Mark Holmes is in love with Dak Prescott. He has to be as a Cowboys fan. Camilton actually said this regarding Philly fans yesterday, and I agree. Philly fans are literally the only fan base in football where all their fans know what's going on year-round with the team. Possibly true, but this is what they also do. 44th. They glamorize Carson Wentz over the team. And if you're on Twitter, you see it. They're like, oh, Carson Wentz is the best thing since sliced bread. Carson Wentz this, Carson Wentz that. He's going to be MVP. It's just sickening. It's so sickening. I like when they talk about the team as a whole. I like when they say who we're going to draft. I love that. I'm going to Las Vegas for the draft this year. I think it's going to be fucking awesome. But when you talk about Wentz over the team, it just makes me take a step back just a little bit. It makes me take a little bit of a step back. And I don't really like it. I'm sorry. Strip the Astro Nitro. Won any big bets lately? No. This weekend in AC was the worst weekend in AC I've ever had. Literally the worst weekend I've ever had. And it was fucking terrible. Bad weekend. Taysom Hill is a poor man's Lamar Jackson. I wouldn't even put him in the same sentence as Lamar Jackson. Vince McMahon is losing a lot of money with the XFL. What makes you say that? They had like, I think it was 3 million viewers last Sunday. Something like that. I understand that Brett Brown was in Pop's system. He's still not a good coach, bro. I disagree. I think he's a very good coach. Nitro, would you ever become a pro gambler? Maybe on sports, but anything else, no. Poker? No, poker. I would. I'm very good at poker, but blackjack, forget it. Oh my god, blackjack sucks sometimes. Buccaneers winning the South next year. Maybe. Jameis Winston got the LASIK. Maybe. You guys are gonna see something. I'm calling a hot take right now. Jameis Winston will be a top 10 quarterback next year. The fact that he fixed his eyesight and he was actually kind of dynamic, whether you want to believe it or not. Without the turnovers and shit, he had 30 touchdowns last year. With the LASIK, he could see better, and I feel like he's going to turn into a very good quarterback. I really do. Do you think the Eagles will eventually cut J.J. Arcega? I hope so. He sucks. He sucks so bad. I can see us taking a step back as well. Yeah, I think you guys. No offense to 44th Legendary, but your team is they're in disarray right now. Boxing is the safest sport to bet on. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. In the playoff game against the Vikings, Hill had a hard time completing a 40 pass. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. All right. So pretty much we covered it. That was the rant of Philly fans. Thank you guys all for your questions. If you're in here, hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel. I'll be doing another rant this week. I'll be putting up the options later on the week. And thank you for joining Ranting Hour with Kyle. And there will be another one this week. Stay tuned. I'm sure you guys will enjoy it. I hope you enjoyed this one. It's a new segment. And, yeah, I'm exhausted. I'm going to go to bed. 36 minutes. I think that's enough. And hope you guys enjoyed. Have a great night. Go Birds. I'm out. Don't take this personal. Smash that thumbs up button.